Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya. And thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across a video where Donald Byron, actually, Donald Byron went for a live show, right? And he was with his fellow community, Black people all together. And he opened his mouth to tell them that our crime is so much, right? Crime rate is so much. And you all already know when they talk about crime, what's that stereotype that comes with it? They always point accusing fingers on us, right? And why he was, for those that do not know that man is the same person that said that Black people were doing better during slavery, that we were like better off during slavery and Jim Crow. He is the same person. He is a coon, tap dancer, that is all of it all in one. But the amazing part is that the fact that he was with his own community and his mind did not tell him anything, that there are some certain things that you cannot say because these people are really educated and well informed. So he has the guts to tell them that, crimes are higher. And then looking at the data, it shows that it is way lower. And he also wanted to argue, right? Because they always have something to argue. But then I am going to say this. I really don't know whether they are being paid to be a sellout to their own community. Let's get into this video.
This is the amazing, the awesome, the cool, the excellent, the fabulous, the fantastic, the terrific, the astute, the educated Keith Boykin. Keith Boykin, I believe he's a producer. He has a TikTok page. I see him a lot on CNN. And last night, Mr. Boykin handed the lying, low-down, manipulative, criminally charged, grifting MAGA nut Byron Donalds his ass.
Of the American people. Donald Trump has a history of saying inflammatory things. It's not just those 5 seconds, Congressman, and you know that. He has a history that goes back from the time when he first ran for office. And he's talked about telling people in his rallies to knock the crap out of him. He had a history, even when I was working here at CNN, he was telling people how CNN is the enemy of the people. And you know what? A guy named Caesar Sayak sent pipe bombs to this building, or not to the other building that CNN used to be in, and tried to kill people. Donald Trump says things that get people hurt. When he talked about liberating Michigan, what happened? Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, they tried to kidnap her. There's a plot to try to kidnap her. Every time he says something that's just 5 seconds, inflammatory statements like that, what happened when we had January 6th? It's because Donald Trump opened his big mouth and wouldn't shut up. And I wish at some point, Congressman, you would at least have the courage to stand up to your dear leader and tell him what he's doing wrong.
Are we going to talk
apologize for him?
Don't just apologize for him. Are we going to talk about the rhetoric directed at Donald Trump? Because we do realize that he's been trying to kill.
Are you going to continue to try not to answer the question? So you're not going to answer what I just said?
So you're not going to talk about the rhetoric that's yielded towards Donald Trump? Donald Trump gets what he gives. People responding to Donald Trump or talking about Donald Trump negatively is because of the negativity that he puts out. The Republicans, the MAGA nuts, think that Donald Trump is free. Them and Donald Trump are free to go around this country to denigrate and disrespect and talk down to everybody else about people of color, about Black people, about members of the LGBTQIA plus community, about Kamala Harris, about Tim Walz, about Joe Biden. They can say the most heinous shit about Democrats and liberals. And they think that they are not to get that type of energy in return. And when they get that energy in return, when Donald Trump is held accountable for it in negative ways, it's the Democrats' fault. It's the rhetoric that the Democrats put out. Byron Donalds, Donald Trump, Fox News, all of the Republicans, all of the MAGA nuts can kiss my booty. The energy you put out, be expecting to get that same energy in return. Just like crazed MAGA nuts rise up to hurt other people, and because they're beholden to Donald Trump, there are crazy people.
Democracy is violent rhetoric, but Trump saying, let's just have one really violent day. That is not violent rhetoric?
No, he didn't say one violent day. That's not even what he said. But let's be honest about what he actually said.
Can we
play it again.
Trump
again?
again?
Play it again, because he didn't even say that. But go ahead.
Can we play it again?
I want to hear it.
All these stores go out of business, right? They don't pay rent. The city doesn't have it's a chain of events. It's so bad. One rough hour, and I mean real rough, the word will get out and it will end immediately. End immediately.
How is that not violent rhetoric?
We have to acknowledge the reality going on in every city in America.
Not answering the question.
Not answering the question. That is answering the question. Because the reality in America, hold on, Keith, the reality in America is that crime is massively up.
Crime is not massively up. That's a lie.
You can bang the table all you want,
You're lying, Congressman. You're lying.
We already know that there are cities.
The FBI just released data this week that crime is going down.
We already know that.
Oh my God! Why do you let this man lie on your national television like this?
I'm telling you that exactly.
This is not right.
You may not.
You're a liar,
You may not. No, I am not. Because you're lying to the American people now. And so I want to be respectful of what you're trying to say.
Hang on a second.
What you're trying to say.
Hang on a second. If you would just let me talk, I will explain exactly what you want me to explain. We have the data. The FBI literally put out data today showing that crime is down this year for the first 6 months of the year. But look at the trend line, okay? Crime is down in all these different categories. And then there is a trend line that shows that crime is going down.
I loved it. Keith said, "You're a liar, Congressman," and then said to Abby Phillips, representative of CNN, "Why do you let this man on your show to lie?" And then Abby came with the facts. Now, I did see another clip where they went into a graph, and in that graph, there was a downturn in crime, and then there was an uptick in crime. And so he's talking about this uptick in this crime that happened back in 2021 or 2022, right? But he don't want to talk about that downward tick that's happened in 2023 and in 2024 that shows that crime is down. And that uptick in crime took place during COVID. Yeah, when people were trying to survive, like literally trying to survive, that's what he's talking about. Byron Donalds is a lying, low-down, manipulative, criminally charged, grifting MAGA nut, and Keith Boykin put him in his place.
The reality in America, hold on, Keith, the reality in America is that crime is massively up.
Crime is not massively up. That's a lie.
Crime is actually down, and I'm tired of these scare tactics. The FBI just released a quarterly report, and they found that crime is down on all levels. Violent crime decreased by 10%, murder decreased by 22%, sexual assault 17%, robbery decreased by 13%, aggravated assault 8.1%. In fact, murder rates have been on the downward trend for the last few years. The real question should be what's happening and what's actually working. What's working is safety programs, violence intervention programs, programs that focus on justice reinvestment. I can tell you locally it's working. I live in Maryland, and just last year they reported less than 300 homicides, which is a decade low since the civil unrest and the violence that ensued after Freddie Gray's death due to police mishandling. They saw a 20 annual decrease due to their anti-violence intervention program. In fact, Mayor Scott said we're finally seeing those efforts paying off, that's saving lives. I'm telling you, if we invest in people in public safety, it could make a difference. Focusing on the root causes of crime, giving people access to programs that exist to make them not want to reoffend. Focusing on a public health approach that helps people who struggle with mental health issues. All of these things focus on making a safer America that protects the people and the police.
So this is all I got from this video. You all remember by Donald Byron, right? The one that said that black people were better off during slavery. And how come he came to probably a live show where it was all black people and then had to talk about crime, trying to also stereotype himself, not even us. Number one is that there is something that I have noticed about them. Those people that are coons that, like, have some people that they tap dance for. Number one is that they never do their research because the research is not important, and they forgot that they went out to meet intelligent people. They always forget that. I don't know why they always forget that. I am going out to deal with some people that might be pretty smarter than me, and they always think. I don't know why they have that impression. Like, it's all black. Let me go there and say what I can say. I love the fact that they got him straight up and checked him out. Right? The truth is that these people will never stop tap dancing. Number one is that the same mindset like these people have about people that look like me is also the same mindset that they have. Sometimes I feel like the proximity to what has already made them feel like that they're all white. But I keep saying this, they will never pick you, and that it's on period. I know some of them, him and Tim Scott, if I am not mistaken, Tim West of Tim Scott. I hope I am correct. Tim Scott, I think. They were really waiting for, that VP position that they were thinking that they were going to be running mates with Donald Trump. And I love the fact that whatever hit them, hit them. And this is how it will continue to hit them. And I hope that one day they wake up, they have their wake up call. But I keep asking myself, what will make me, I really don't know what will make me to see the pain or the agony my own community is going through. I see all that. They see all that, but they will choose to lie straight up right in front of your face and even make you look stupid. With all the data and statistics, he was still trying to prove a point. What point does he have to prove when it is like all over that those people already made their research and knew that a crime rate so far, like all of it, are low. But he still want to tell you all know how to do some certain things. You all are doing bad things. That's why he is insisting, no, that it has not reduced. It's just the same thing. Man, I love there is nothing as beautiful as saying, coming in contact with those people that do not believe in Black community and being checked by the Black community, the men and the women that know what they do. That is one hell of a sweet thing to watch. I absolutely love this. And I hope he go back home in shame, because he belongs to shame. Because a man that does not understand that his community comes first, any man that do not stand for something will absolutely fall for anything. And this is where I am going to end my whatever I have to say. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.